Hi, I'm Ray of Ray of Light Yoga. So glad you could make it to class today. We're going to do a deep stretch around 30 minutes today. So if you'd like to come down onto your mat into your Sukhasana, which is the easy seat, just making contact with both sits bones on your mat. Make sure you have either a bolster, a blanket, some type of maybe cushion or pillow for your Shavasana at the end of our practice. And if you have a block or a strap, please feel free to bring those close to your mat if you like to use those. I'll be demoing those today. Let's come into our Sukhasana pose, sitting up tall, making contact with both sits bones here. As we come into our bodies today, letting the outside world go, think of an intention for your practice, a mantra that you can say when you lose your breath, or help you to come back to your breath or pay attention to your breath. A few ideas are: love flows through me and to me. I belong. I am loved. I am safe. Those are a few suggestions. Let's take 3 deep breaths today before we begin our body scan. And as we inhale, we're inhaling from the low belly, filling up the ribs and then the upper chest. Let's begin by inhaling, filling up. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Once more, inhaling. Exhaling everything out, all the way out of the low belly. Just doing a short body scan to take inventory. We're not pushing or forcing anything today, but respecting our bodies and practicing self-love and non-judgment as we go through our asanas today. Let's begin our body scan, feeling that tingle of awareness at the top of our head. Slide down our cheeks to our jaw, releasing any tension in the head or the jaw, letting the tongue fall behind the teeth, breathing in, breathing out. Continuing down to the shoulders, sending that tingle of awareness down the shoulders and the arms. Again, noticing, just checking in here with love, not forcing or pushing anything, releasing any restrictions in the shoulders or the arms. Next, down to the abdomen, top of the thoracic spine and down each rib. Again, just breathing in and noticing how you feel, sending gratitude, sending release, continuing down the legs to the knees, down the glutes, the pelvis, the hamstrings. Just noticing here in this highly dynamic area of your body, breathing in, breathing out, releasing any tension in the pelvis or the lumbar or the glutes, down to the knees and the backs of the knees, sending that tingle down our lower extremities, just checking in, sending gratitude, releasing the knees, down to the shins and the calves, the ankles, noticing and releasing any tightness in the calves or the shins or the ankles. And last, down to the feet, the bottoms of the feet, tips of the toes. Breathing in, noticing, releasing any restriction in the feet. Breathing in, inhaling and exhaling. Let's take another 3 deep breaths to begin our Samavriti practice. Beginning in the low belly, inhaling, filling up. Exhaling out. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time, inhaling. Exhaling everything out. Beginning our pranayama practice. Samavriti, 4-count box breath, inhaling for 1, 2, 3, holding. Exhaling 3, 2, 1, holding. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, holding. Exhaling for 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. Holding. Exhaling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding. Exhaling for 3, 2, 1. Let your breath come back to its natural, unconditioned state. In our Sukhasana pose, feeling our stira and our sukha, feeling the structure, both sits bones planted, and the sweetness, the sukha of this pose. As we inhale, here for hip circles, just a few hip circles, breathing, circling. Just welcoming a little bit of movement into the body, linking our breath with our movement. Coming back to center, bringing the hands down to the sides, externally rotating shoulders, circle sweeping up. Inhaling, exhaling, right hand down, rainbowing the left over. Make sure the sits bones are still planted for 1 breath here. Inhaling back to center, exhaling to the left, rainbowing the right, making sure the sits bones are still planted here. Inhaling back to center, exhaling 1 more time, rainbowing the left to the right, inhaling back to center. 1 last time on the left, rainbowing the right arm. Inhaling back to center. Prayer hands, exhaling forward into just a small little forward fold for 3 breaths here. Last breath. Pushing up with the palms, switching the legs. Opposite leg is in front, and then beginning your hip circles in the opposite direction. Slowly welcoming some movement, linking the breath with our movement. Once more. Coming back to center. Beginning to roll the shoulders back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. On our next pose, our next asana, coming into our staff dandasana pose, bringing the hands down by the hips, we're pushing up into our dandasana to release the flesh for the sits bones, just making sure there's cushion for your sits bones. And then we're going to externally rotate the arms, circle sweep them up for a sitting forward fold here, a Paschimottanasana, exhaling over the feet. Now, I want to demo a modification here. Strap is really, really helpful to bring the floor just a little closer to you. A block is great to make the strap just a little more stable. So I'm going to inhale up for a straight spine here, and then exhale from the waist, bending forward, laying the belly on the top of the thighs. Our chin is to the front of the room for 3 breaths here in our Paschimottanasana, sitting forward fold. Last breath. On your next inhale, set your props to the side, walk the palms back up, bringing our left hand to right knee, bringing the right foot down beside the left knee. We're kickstanding our right arm behind us and externally rotating the left shoulder, circle sweeping, inhaling up for our half lord of the fish's twist, looking over the right shoulder for 3 breaths here, sinking into your twist with each exhale. And these are nano movements, not pushing or forcing anything. And last breath here. On your next inhale, release your half lord of the fish's twist. Bring the legs out again into your staff dandasana pose. Lifting up again so those sits bones are cushioned. Externally rotating the arms, circle sweeping up again for our sitting forward fold Paschimottanasana. 3 breaths here. Last breath. On your next inhale, go ahead and walk the palms back up. Bring the right hand to the left knee, bringing the left foot beside the right knee here. And then reaching back with our left hand to kickstand the left arm, externally rotating, circle sweeping the arm up, exhaling to the left, hooking the right elbow to the outside of the left knee. For 3 breaths here, looking over the shoulder. On your next inhale, release your twist. Stretching the legs out again. Give them a little wiggle here, just a little bit of a shake. And then we're coming into our sitting wide leg forward fold. Just making sure both sits bones are planted again here. Feet are active, toes are pointed towards the sky. We're sitting tall in our seated wide-legged forward fold. And then we're going to inhale and walk the palms forward. If you'd like, you can use a block for your forehead here. In both settings, there's 3 settings. 3 breaths here in your wide-legged forward fold. One more breath. On your next inhale, push up into the palms, back into neutral position here. Inhaling, turning towards the right, circle sweeping arms up, exhaling over the right quad, head to knee. 3 breaths here. If your head does not touch your knee, that is okay. Go as far as you'd like. You can also feel free to use a strap, your dog's leash, a robe strap, anything that you can to bring yourself closer here into your wide leg forward fold. 2 more breaths. And then walking the palms, inhaling back up to center. Back to center. Let's rotate towards the left. Circle sweep the arms up. Exhaling over the left leg. 3 breaths. Last breath here. Walking the palms back to center. And again, making sure both sits bones are in contact. Exhaling forward, just for a couple of breaths. Really stretching out the inner thighs, distributing synovial fluid through the hip joints. Last breath. On your next inhale, push the palms back up, set the props aside. Come into our tabletop, cat-cow. Both knees are planted hip-width distance apart on the mat. The wrists are stacked below the shoulders. Fingertips are spread, little slices of pie between the fingers as you look towards your mat here. Coming into our neutral position, let's inhale the belly in, extend the last segment of the tailbone out, inhaling into our cow pose, inhaling up, letting the belly drop, shining the heart forward. Exhaling into cat, rolling back onto the knees, tucking the tail and the chin. Again, inhaling up for cow. Shine that heart forward, let the belly drop. Exhaling into cat, Marjaryasana. Inhaling for cow, Vittalasana. Exhaling, tucking the tail. Last one. Inhaling for cow. Exhaling, cat. Again, coming back into our neutral tabletop position here. We're triangling our knees. Big toes are touching for child's pose. Bringing the glutes to the heels, stretching the arms out for Balasana, child's pose here for 3 breaths. You can either have the knees close together or wide apart. One more breath. On your next inhale, turn the knees back to center into our tabletop pose, inhaling the right leg up for lizard on the right side, extending the left leg back. Now the right foot, the heel is on the mat, the toes are off the mat, the ankle and the knee are aligned here in our lizard. Most of our weight is in the palm of our hands here, shifting back and forth, trying to find just a little bit of room in the hips. This is perfect. If you want to stay right here, that is great. If you'd like to bend forward, coming on to the forearms, releasing the cervical down. Please feel free to do so. 3 breaths here. One more breath. On your next inhale, plant the palms, push back up into our lizard pose. Let's heel toe the right foot over to the left side of our mat for our pigeon on the right side. Bringing the right quad out, it shoots out of the hip at an angle to the long edge of your mat here. The toes of the right foot, the toenails are pressed into the mat. Left leg is straight out behind us. Inhaling up for a straight spine here in your pigeon. Perfectly great to stay here in your pigeon. If you'd like, you can fold forward. I like to have a block for a pillow. Come forward, exhaling down for 5 deep belly breaths here. Another option is a block, or I'm sorry, a bolster. Let me demo that too. Into your pigeon pose. This is also an option for you. Very comfy. 3 more breaths here in pigeon. Last breath. On your next inhale, come up onto the palms. We're not going very far. Just bringing our right leg out for frog. The right leg is at a 90-degree angle and the ankle is also at a 90-degree angle. Bringing your left cheek to the mat for 5 breaths here in frog. Yoga is about the cessation of thoughts in your mind, then uniting the body and the mind and the spirit. 1 more breath here. On your next inhale, bring that right leg back by the left leg, coming up into tabletop again. Coming back into our tabletop. Inhaling the left knee up for lizard on the left side. Extending that right leg out. Again, the left foot, heel is on the mat, toes are off the mat. You can even bend this leg over to the pinky edge of your foot if you'd like. And just shifting back and forth. Welcoming that synovial fluid into our hip joints here. course, if you'd like to intensify your stretch, come down onto the forearms for 3 breaths. One more breath. On your next inhale, back onto the palms. Begin to heel toe the left foot over to the right edge of the mat. Coming into your pigeon on the left side. The right leg shoots straight out behind us. Stick straight out behind us. The palms, our weight is in the palms. The left knee is shooting out at an angle. The left foot, the toenails are pressed into the mat, just to keep that knee safe. One breath here, inhaling up for a straight spine, and then rolling forward if you'd like. It's perfectly okay to stay upright in your pigeon, either on your elbows or on your palms, whichever you prefer. For 5 belly breaths here. Last breath. On your next inhale, press into the palms. Move the block or in the bolster or whichever prop you were using to the side, and then not going far with that left leg, just coming into our frog pose on the left side. The left knee is at a 90-degree angle. The ankle is also, for 5 breaths here. Right cheek is to the mat. One more breath. On your next inhale, bring that left leg back into line with the right. Plant the palms and back up into our tabletop. Rolling over the ankles onto our backs. Into our knees to chest Apanasana pose here. Bringing the knees into the chest, grabbing the elbows. Breathing here for 3 breaths, feeling your psoas, feeling that pinch at the top of your thigh. Let's release the left leg long, toes are pointed to the sky. Clasping the left hand on the right knee for our supine twist, bringing the right arm out to the side, rolling over onto our left side into our supine twist. Our shoulders are still on the mat, looking over the right shoulder here for 5 deep breaths. Last breath. On your next inhale, release the twist, bringing the knees back to center. Again, we're bringing the knees in for another variation of Apanasana, knees to chest. Just doing a few hip rocks here. Back and forth, distributing some synovial fluid. in the hips and in the tops of the glutes. Extending that right leg out. Clasping the hands under the left knee. The right toes are active, pointed to the sky. The left knee comes out around the ribs. Inhaling for 3 breaths here. Last breath. Bringing the right hand to the left knee, extending the left arm out to the side, rolling onto the right side. The knees are to the right, the chin is to the left. For 5 deep breaths here in our supine twist. These twists are so important to detox our bodies. Last breath here. On your next inhale, release the twist, inhaling the knees back to center. Again, bringing them in for another Apanasana squeeze, knees to chest. Maybe bringing the hands to the tops of the knees and making circles on the ceiling if you'd like. Going one direction. And then reversing whenever you wish, if you've had enough on one side. Bringing the bottoms of the feet down to the mat here. Cactusing the arms. We're going to do some windshield wipers, just a single inhale, letting the legs fall to one side, chin to the opposite direction. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling, dropping them to the left, chin to the right. Inhaling back to center. Inhaling back to center. Go ahead and do these at your own pace if you'd like. Inhaling back to center. Bringing the bottoms of the feet together and letting the knees fall out into our Supta Baddha Konasana butterfly pose here. For 3 breaths, one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Closing the eyes. One more deep belly breath here. Your next inhale, bring the hands down to the sides of the thighs, pushing the thighs together. And the feet back down to the mat. Let's extend out into our Shavasana pose. Our reward for all of our hard work. Make sure that you maybe want to accommodate your low back by putting a bolster or a pillow under your knees, giving the low back just a little bit more ease. Because really that's what we're here for in yoga. We're here to find our ease. Fill up the belly with breath. Another big inhale. Open mouth exhale.
do that once more. Big inhale. Open mouth, exhale. To settle into your Shavasana pose. And about 20 inches between the feet and 10 inches between the hands and the body. Closing the eyes, sinking in.
Thank you so much for coming to class, yogis. The divine light in me sees and honors the divine light in you. Namaste.